Again, good afternoon, good evening, good morning to wherever you're watching from all over the world. My name is RJ Ledesma, and please join me in my podcast, the RJ Ledesma podcast. If you are somebody who is a fan of business, then you will enjoy this show. In my show, the RJ Ledesma podcast, I interview the country's pioneering business personalities and entrepreneurs to learn more about how they think about business, what are their success secrets, and can we hack those success secrets? How they innovated their businesses during this pandemic, and more importantly, what opportunities do they see emerging in the new normal and the next normal? Now, is there a business personality or entrepreneur that you would like me to interview here on the podcast? Please let me know. I would love to have them here on the show and to learn more about business from them. Just drop me a message. Now, we're also live on Kumu, CBRC TV, Global Pinas TV, and the Bounce Back Network. Tonight, a guest celebrates 15 years of doing great business and doing even better business in the next 15, 30, 50 plus years. And I had the pleasure of meeting her earlier on in her career, and I'm so happy to see how big her business has grown since then and how it has helped many, many people. Tonight, my special guest is Kim Lato, of the owner, founder, and CEO of her self-named Kim Store, one of the country's pioneering tech stores. I'm sure many of you are very familiar with Kim Store by now. Now, Kim Store is known to be the Philippines' most trusted one-stop shop for the latest in tech stuff. It was recognized as a Go Negosyo Awardee, a 12 Young Starpreneur Awardee, and a Multiply Philippines. Wow, that takes me back. Multiply Philippines Best Online Store in 2011. As they celebrate Kim Store's 15th anniversary, how did Kim overcome all the different challenges over the years and make it to where she is here today? Please welcome on my program, on the podcast, Miss Kim Lato. Kim, welcome to the show.
Hi, RJ. Thank you for having me here. Thank you. Thank you
Kim,
for joining us as we celebrate our 15th year.
I'm so happy to celebrate with you during your 15th year. And you know what? Correct me if I'm wrong, but the first time that I met you and I was so impressed with you was in a Go Negosyo event, right?
Yes, you were the host and I was one of the panelists.
That's right. And that, at that time, it was just very, well, Kim Store was up and coming at the time. Is that right? Or was it already at its zenith?
I remember back then, it was around 2011. So I had I became a Go Negosyo Awardee and I had the chance to meet you in person. So that time, 5 years. I just graduated in 2008. It was just starting up.
Wow,
E-commerce was yet to boom.
yet to boom, and that's the key. And I want to
Yet to
know how you rode the wave, and we will share that in a bit, so more of the people listening to the show can gain business insights there. No, but the big story, 15 years. I mean, if you were in the e-commerce stage and you're 15 years, matanda ka na. You're already old technically if you're there 15 years. Um, but you're one of the most vibrant, most pioneering businesses. What are you doing to mark 15 years? Because I know it's a very significant it's a significant milestone, but you're really celebrating it in a way that you're actually giving back to consumers and to the, I guess, even the tech startup e-commerce scene here in the Philippines. Tell me more about that.
Well, 15 years. 15 years Crystal anniversary. What does Crystal means? It's more on clarity, pure intention that we're here to give back. We're creating our own e-commerce academy to collaborate with other pioneers so that we could really teach people how to really scale their business through e-commerce. Second is because of the pandemic, we were able to create, or should I say, a pilot run for our logistics. We are calling it a Scheme Express. And because of the pandemic, there were a lot of, should I say, out of work people. So we created this Kim Store drop shipping. Whereas if you don't have any capital, you could try our drop shipping and course through your order through our company and then drop ship it to your customers.
So sort of like white label it, no? Is that right? They white label it as if it's their own company.
Yes.
Wow, fantastic. What else are you doing? Are there any other initiatives that you're doing on top of that one?
Well, we continue to provide work from home gadgets and online schooling. Because of the pandemic, we were able to, how should I say, it, see the potential of the market. Before, it was heavy on entertainment, but this time around, people were really looking for work from home devices and online schooling devices.
I
I believe
remember
you
you
know
were
that, right?
Yeah, I was one of the first to actually call up Kim Store saying, Kim, I need help. My daughter needs to go online right now. And you guys were very, very helpful over there. And I understand, I was reading a recent article also about how Kim Store is celebrating its 15th anniversary. You're actually going to be supporting Filipino tech entrepreneurs, right? They developed proudly Pinoy gadgets. Is that right? Can you tell me a bit more about
Yes.
that?
Well, I've been in the industry for quite some time, so I'd like to be an enabler in some way that I've always seen a lot of electronics being imported here, but how come there is no Filipino-made electronics? What about if we create a Silicon Valley type that we really create or manufacture our tech products?
Wow. And
Ambitious,
having,
but that's a
yeah.
good 5 to 10 year plan.
No, I love that. That's the actual plan. I like it's what you call the BHAG, right? The big, hairy, audacious goals. And if you don't mind, I really want to get into this a bit more because this sounds amazing. Because you are actually transforming from a tech, a provider of tech to an enabler of technology. I mean, what was the pivot that, or what was the incident that made you think about that this is the direction to take the business? And I'm so happy because when I see your board, I mean, I see Professor Jay Bernardo, our very good friend. He's also a mentor of ours in Mercato Central. And I saw Josiah go over there in your 15th anniversary. I saw Brother Bo Sanchez. I mean, all these things must have provided some sort of an influence to you. But what was that thing that made you think, now, okay, I have to be more than just a tech store?
I've been thinking of how to give back. Really, that's the real intention. People have supported my business way back in college years, 2006, way back in multiply days. So much have changed during the pandemic. And then, how do you really give back? More than creating an e-commerce academy. Of course, if you wanted to learn from the best, learn from the experts, learn from the pioneers. But more so, how about these people who really wanted to be creative, who really wanted to have a source of income? We saw a lot of social enterprises, right? You
Mm-hmm.
really want to help MSME, you wanted to help, let's say, small communities. What about those people who really wanted to create inventions? Or I think in other countries like Indiegogo, it's a crowdsourcing fund. Maybe we could do something similar in the Philippines.
I see. So these things will now fall under the Kim Academy. Parang ganyan. This is the Kim
Yes,
Academy. I'm calling it the Kim
yes.
Academy. With all these different plans, I can't help but ask you, is this a company that you plan to actually IPO in the future, kind small board or big board? Is that something that's in your in your horizon?
Well, most likely 10 to 15 years from now.
Wow.
I'd like
I,
to probably solve more problems. I know as an e-commerce pioneer, I partner with a lot of fintech companies, logistic companies. How about putting myself in the position of owning, or should I say, being of service, either logistics or a neobank or a fintech company, just to solve the pain points of e-commerce.
I love that. It is, it's all about going back to solving pain points. So right now, what I'm really seeing from you is that you were a tech store, and the way to grow it is to continue solving pain points. That still thematically, part of the overarching goal is that it helps promote the tech store, but it's more than that. I mean, you become a tech enabler with the equipment or from the components of a tech store. Am I right to say that?
Yeah. Yes.
Wow, fantastic. And then having said that, no, I mean there might be some first timers over here. I often use the example of my dad who doesn't know what Kim Store is. Can you if that's the case, no, how would I explain this to my mom and dad who are about 70 plus years old? What exactly is Kim Store?
Well, Kimstore is the pioneer of e-commerce in the Philippines, and we were established in 2006. We are able to provide the Filipinos the quality but affordable gadget and consumer electronics that they need and might help them uplift their lifestyle.
Okay, I love that, and I want to really get into when you said affordable gadgets and how you got how that becomes a unique selling proposition or a competitive advantage for you. But getting there, no, I think one of the bigger questions I really wanted to get into as you celebrate 15 years, and I said, 15 years doing this one, it's not only a roller coaster ride, but you're battling many things, diba? You're battling obsolescence, you're battling big competitors along the way. It's not easy to get where you are right now. I just want to ask, um, when you look back at those times, no, what do you think is really the sort of like what makes you different? Because anybody can be an online tech store, right? People can say, I sell gadgets online. There are many people selling computers or cell phones online. What exactly made Kim Store different or sustainable over the years?
When I started the business, I was a college student. I really treasure relationships with my customers. I really value their suggestions. I really appreciate their feedbacks to our services. Something that really stayed and became really our USP is because of our human touch, our seamless customer experience. There are a lot of marketplaces that emerge in the last few years, but I could say people continue to love Kim Store, to encourage Kim Store simply because they love the human experience. For example, you're gonna buy a camera worth 50,000. If you're going to
Uh,
buy, for example, lang in a marketplace, it's the same service. You'll get the same service by a 10 peso product versus a 50,000 product. But if you order at Kim Store, for example, you have a kid that is going online schooling. So my team would know exactly what do you need. For example, the specs that the school provided, we could really match the specs from what you are requiring. That's how detailed are we in our customer experience,
yeah,
and
I mean, yeah.
we
No, I mean,
really put our
I can testify to that one because I know when I went to you, sabi ko, my daughter needs this one. You said, oh, this is the type of, and that's exactly it because I'm not a tech savvy guy. I mean, I have to know that how to run the laptop, but you were there to say, oh, sir, this is exactly what they need, and thank God, this is what came about.
Yeah. And we really put our customers first. Like for example, it's an emergency. You broke your phone and you're in the condo. So we really had these situations. We are already tested, and we know how to respond. Especially when people need electronics. Sometimes it's for gifts, for celebrations, but what about emergency? Like for example, in the pandemic, how do you really
Oh,
respond?
yeah. So, did you have to develop a sort of pandemic team for delivery? I mean, I'm guessing that's what had to happen, right? I mean, especially during the pandemic.
During the pandemic times, we partner with Grab. We also partner with Angkas. However, it wasn't enough. That's why the idea of having a Team Express Logistics was created.
Ah,
So we have around 30 in-house riders because of that. And then this time around, oo nga naman, no, 15 years, how can we pay forward? Maybe we could, this time around, we could really provide a solution by creating a logistics. People now in demand or in on-demand deliveries, especially online, gusto mo ngayon na eh. They want it
Oh,
delivered now.
oh.
So that's what we wanted to address.
I love that. I mean, one by one, I mean, what really emerged is that you were solving smaller pain points along the way, which is really growing the business. Now, going back to what you were saying earlier on, one of the key things that you said as being what's unique to Kim Store is, of course, the human experience or the human touch or really understanding the customers, right? Especially during emergencies and online schooling and work from home. But the other one, which I find truly intriguing about what you guys do, is that you say that you are an affordable option. And my guess is why, but that to me, that is one of your USPs, right? Or what makes you competitive. Uh, how are you able to maintain? I mean, oftentimes people say that the cost advantage is not always it's not a long-term sustainable advantage because people can just drop their prices or try to drop their prices to drive you out of the market. My guess is that just because there's no physical store for Kim Store where it's delivered to you, there's lesser overhead for rental for space, no? But tell me, how are you able to maintain affordability as being a strategic advantage of yours?
Affordability has always been our USP, one of our USP, but more so, we were able to leverage with our brand partners the volume that we are getting. So from online, we were able to do B2B, B2C, and D2C. That's why we're also doing omni-channel. That's why we have a lot of distribution channel to really cater customers.
Wow. So, kumbaga,
Volume.
sagot mo it's really a volume drive. I mean, the way that I think of it, it's like you're just forgive me. This doesn't. If it, I hope it sounds correct. No, that's really a Filipino Chinese business strategy, diba? It's driving volume, and you just sort of brought that strategy into what you're doing here right now. Is that correct?
Yeah, they were okay. This is podcast, pero they were giving us really very very good price.
Oh wow. Wow, fantastic, fantastic. Now, having said all this one, so I understand, that this is where the sustainability came in. Now, my question is, when it came to the actual, when it came to the pandemic, can you share with us a bit more what happened to your business? Because I realize that yours is mostly a delivery business, right? Um,
Mhm.
did did and for me, my presumption is that your business did very very well because of the crisis. But then, tell me, how is it like initially when it first hit? What was your reaction? Do you think that you'd be able to continue business, and then what happened from there? I'd love to know your pandemic story, Kim.
Actually, it was March 2020. A week before, we just had our team building. So buti na lang, we just finished our team building. And then, okay, there was a lockdown announcement. So at first, as a company, we wanted to ensure that our employees will feel safe and secure, that even if it's pandemic, it will always be business as usual. So we were actually watching the news. How is the government will respond in the pandemic? But along the way, actually, a lot of people are sending me messages, personal messages like, do you have a pocket Wi-Fi? Do you have laptops? I need this in my company. So I see that I think people are already, I think people are really checking the idea of doing a work from home setup. So that time, yung purpose ng Kim Store na, why are we here? We serve electronics to our customers, especially in times of needs. So this time around, since the structure of Kim Store is really built online. So luckily, the 15 years of hard work really paid off during pandemic. We were
Wow.
ready. We were prepared. The only difference is that it was a work from home setup because we are used to working in the office, but this time around we are now in a work from home setup. And then just to share, well, we did not have any manpower reduction last pandemic. We really
Hmm.
wanted to prioritize our employees. Kahit di masyadong, at first kasi syempre parang kinakapa pa natin eh. Kahit di pa masyadong kumikita, we wanted really to show our employees that they're really safe and secured. Because I really think that if you can't make your employees feel safe during the times of crisis and pandemic, they really cannot take care of your customers.
Wow. And how
And they,
how? Yeah. Please continue. Please continue. Oh, you were saying.
like any customers, we're kind of adapting on the new normal setup of our, how do I say it, hybrid, flexible work setup.
Wow. Before you continue, I just want to come over here and look at the comments box right now. Number one from Vel Almazar, an inspiring female entrepreneur. Truly, truly, I actually wanted you here at the show because I wanted to show my daughter what really hard work and ingenuity gets you. Thank you so much, Vel Almazar, and from Jeffrey Impression Nacario saying, Kim Store 15 years. Congrats, of course, congrats. Thanks so much, and to Lance Luis Caviteño. Congrats, Kim Store. Oh, here's an interesting question coming from Samantha. Samantha's asking, do you consign or purchase the products outright? What is is that a business model that you have? Is it something that you can share with us?
Well, actually, we do outright, but there are times that if it's an emerging brand or a potential brand, the brand partner is willing to consign with us. So it
Okay.
parang may drop shipping model, or when it's consignment, they only pay storage fee and then they can sell in our website.
Wow, amazing. I have also here from AJ Camille, and I have seen Kim grow over the years. Proud of you. And Kim, this really echoes a lot of when I was sharing the post online for people to come, and that's exactly the same story they're saying. People say, I've seen the organic growth, I've seen her grow from here. And the difference here that I see is that many of them are so happy, so proud. Parang, wow, we were able to make you, parang we were part of the growth, or we were so happy to that you gotten this far. Kim, why do you think there's such good vibes when it comes to Kim Store, and they're so happy to see that you're doing well? What do you think? What do you think the reason is behind that one?
I think everybody knows the story that I started during my college years. So that time, I was very, very thankful na people trusted me. I was just a college student, and then they really wanted to support this advocacy, this entrepreneurial journey. And then, as I share my milestones years by years, they see that, alam mo yun, parang yung sinuportahan mo, lumaki din siya. It's a wonderful feeling that this homegrown brand is really growing.
Yeah, I'm so happy to see. Yeah, please continue. You're saying, please, Kim, go ahead, go ahead.
Na parang na-realize ko, RJ, na okay, 15 years is a big, big milestone. And then I realized my ikigai was really to empower women and to really support entrepreneurs and to really go in e-commerce. So parang in a way, my 15 years highlight was, of course, really giving back. But at the same time, I found my ikigai to really uplift women, to be a voice, to be one of the voices of women that they can really grow big.
Wow. I like that. Sabi nga dito ni Sofia Reyes, Sasis, girl power. That's right. And this is what makes me, as a father to a 12-year-old girl who, I hope one day becomes an entrepreneur as well, or somebody who wants to achieve. You're a great example for that one, for them. And you're talking about female empowerment. That's part of your ikigai. How does that figure into Kim Store? I know because earlier we talked about supporting e-commerce, supporting logistics via drop shipping, supporting Filipino technologies, hopefully a local one. But how in particular are you helping support female empowerment? I would like to know, so we can also pass on the message.
Okay, during my early years, people did not know that the person leading Kim Store is a woman. So in a way, na-develop yung purpose ko na I wanted to share that women can and will deliver. So in a way, how to really uplift women. Usually, I got a lot of messages in Facebook or in other social media pages that they, in some way, come to think of it, they see your hard work, they see what you do is being an inspirational na parang sometimes I get this message na sana I can be like you, I'm a budding entrepreneur, yung parang napupush ka pa na parang tulungan sila, messages like that. But in this way, I really wanna fortify na, for example, since I'm really known as an e-commerce entrepreneur, why not help women to really grow in e-commerce? Teach them, probably fund them, or soon, yung e-commerce academy, especially designed
E-commerce
for women.
academy. So that's
Yes.
the one, the e-commerce academy designed for women. And I don't know if this is the right way to phrase the question. Especially in e-commerce, traditionally has, in general, this world has been a sort of a male dominated or a very male hierarchical world, no? But things flip around here. It's really meritocracy, diba? Almost. Hopefully we're moving in that direction. Um, what do you see as, if I was to talk to my daughter and say, what are the, what's the great thing about being a woman and supporting the growth of e-commerce? What gives them that, is there do they have uh, maybe a great skill set or some defining qualities that really help them succeed in that field?
Okay, one is chances are unlimited. Diba? Chances are unlimited. It's not, okay, somebody tried this idea, okay, wala na akong pwedeng matry na. I'd say na there's so many potentials, there's so many opportunity. When ito yung ano ko, yung principle ko kay Kim Store, the right person, the right time, and the right opportunity, way back 2006. So I was, there will always be another Kim Store in the next years to come. So always remember that. Mm, ang daming spaces pa na pwedeng i-conquer. Ang dami pang industries na pwedeng i-conquer. We just have to have it's a matter of mindset. You get me? Parang if you see
Yes.
this, if you see this, if you see this, for example, the pandemic, company shut down, but we saw this as a pivotal opportunity that we really could expand our business. And should I say, we even, not to be sensitive na lang, pero we really had a very good year last year, 2020, just by providing electronics.
Yeah. That was going to lead into my next question. I was going to say, I'm sure that Kim Store did good, but you did, I guess, exceptionally well during this pandemic because people needed devices in this pandemic. Am I right? A lot more people needed devices in this pandemic.
Siguro I also wanted one more, empower women. That's my advocacy. Na there's a lot of women who really wanted, alam mo yun, parang an extra push na kaya ba nila to, and be that kind of friend, be that kind of mentor to these women na kaya nila. And I really want to have more aspiring female entrepreneurs. Kasi parang feeling ko nalilimit but this time around there's so many people trying to venture in e-commerce or trying to be an entrepreneur. So I'd like to have more let's say support groups that could really help women to really succeed. Na parang hindi ka babae lang pero babae ka. So you really win.
I love those stories, and these are things I want to take home and share. And for me, in my own companies to share, no, it's really what I like about it. It's my wife who's really been taking the lead in the company, especially for which is very good at, which is operations, which is finance, the other key aspects of the company. And I'm realizing that I really have to step back because we both have our own strengths. But the way that she's so empowered, she's coming out. My daughter also feels the empowerment as well, and I'm so happy to see that. Having said all this one, no, I wanted to ask, I wanted to take a step back, and we keep on talking about your college experience, and not everybody has had the benefit of knowing the secret origin of Kim Store. But allow me to phrase it this way, diba? As entrepreneurs, the question we always ask people is, what was the problem that you were trying to solve? Or what was that irritation that you saw that you turned into your inspiration for doing business? So if you don't mind, take us back again to 15 years ago, to even longer than that, back in 2006. How did a college girl come up with the idea of this site, especially when it wasn't at that time, e-commerce was just so fledgling, but it wasn't anything big. Can you bring us back to that time?
I was a sophomore student. I was really into blogging and photography. That time, I was just looking for a particular lens over the internet. I searched this particular lens in Amazon and I was trying to check out this particular lens. However, 2006 pa yun, Amazon doesn't ship in the Philippines, sadly. And then a eureka moment came na, oo nga no, how come there's nothing similar in the Philippines? Meron naman sa malls, pero just check over the internet and buy your products over the internet, parang hindi pa siya hindi siya common in way back 2006. So Pixar was born. And then when I started Kim Store, I put it in multiply.com. So sa mga multiply babies dyan, hello, they really
Wow.
know the story of Kim Store. Way back then, sino ba naman ang hindi hook sa multiply? It's similar in Facebook now. Lahat yata ng friends ko, college friends ko, nasa multiply. So yan, doon pa lang customers mo na yun eh. And then,
Wow.
in a month's time, I was ano yung parang in Lasal, nagde-distribute ka ng mga flyers, nagdo-door-to-door ka per class mo, and then sa mga org mates mo. Siguro in a month's time, almost a month, finally I got a sale. Parang yung sa akin na lang is, I
Oh,
want this
1 month. 1 month, huh?
one
Wow.
month, 1 month. I got my first sale with my org mate. Her name is Zylak Yambao. I will never forget her. And she's still supporting me up to now. Na parang just this one customer to prove that this concept will take effect, will happen. So yun. Then the rest is history.
Wow. So ito, hindi siya website. It was really, it started off in Multiply. Tama ba ako?
Yeah, kimstore.multiply.com.
Wow. Ito nga, I see over here, Vel Almazar, sabi niya, multiplied baby here. Pero di ko alam, pwede siya gamitin sa e-commerce. Maybe to explain lang, di ba? I mean, that was the definition of e-commerce during that time, di ba, Kim?
Yeah.
That is the very basic, or the starting off of e-commerce. Tama ba ako dyan?
Actually, well, hindi talaga set ang multiply for e-commerce. Pero way back, when I started it in 2006, and then 2011, nagkaroon na ng headquarters si Multiply Philippines dito. Then eventually, 2013, Multiply office shut down. So just imagine, I've been operating the business for the last 7 years in Multiply and it shut down. It was one of the most horrible experience of an entrepreneur. Para kang nawalan ng bahay, nawalan ka ng business, and people were asking me, texting me, sending me emails, nag-shutdown ka na ba? Nasaan ka na, Kim Store? Nasaan ka na, Kim? So, something I learned from that experience is, as a leader, you really need to create contingency plans. Hindi pwedeng you put all your eggs in one basket. What if another multiply shutdown? Where will you operate? So that time, in some way, that setback really made me or challenged me na wanted to grow this business. So I created Kim Store as a brand. So wherever I sell, people would trust this brand. For example, I sell in marketplaces, I sell in social media pages such as Facebook or Instagram, na whenever they see Kim Store, it's a brand to trust whenever they wanted to buy gadgets.
Okay. It was a brand to trust, and was the human experience USP, that unique selling proposition there already, or more? It was more like a brand to trust at that time. Is that? And I'm sure that's also one of your brand equities, right? Or one of your unique selling propositions.
When people buy from Kim Store, usually, okay, laging sila yung nauuna. When you say, re-release na yung this type of product, try mo kay Kim Store. Okay, bumili ka kay Kim Store because it's safe to buy at Kim Store. Bumili ka kay Kim Store because it's fast. So, there's a lot of words na fast, convenient, they're always first, they're trustworthy. So, the brand identity, or how do you define this brand? So, it's trustworthy, it's affordable, and it's convenient.
Wow. I'm very curious now. Looking back at that experience, because that was like, I often say, parang this is like external circumstance that you could not control. But there are other things that you can control about the business. Multiply closing down is something you couldn't control. And like you said, it was a defining point for you. You could perceive that, you could see that as a failure for you, or as a growth opportunity for you, or rather, something to learn from. So what did you guys have to do? How did you pick yourself up from that one? What was your next step to get the business back on solid footing after nagsara yung Multiply?
That time, buti na lang may Unli Tech Services na. So, tinext namin lahat ng customers namin na we're moving to kimstore.com. For a month, buti na lang there are really helpful people. They helped me created my website in a month. And then we transferred to social media Facebook. So,
At the time,
pouring support, pouring support na buti na lang Ninang Kim is back because people call me as Ninang eh. Alam mo naman, pag Ninang, may aginaldo dito naman, may pag-giveaway ka ba? May freebies ka ba? Especially it's Christmas, people really know na, go to Ninang Kim, go to Kim Store, go to Kim. So nandoon pa rin yung personal touch.
Wow. I love that. There's a person touch like they're talking to somebody, di ba? Naalala ko na dito tuloy si Mayora sa Homebodies. I don't know if you follow Homebodies, but corner si Mayora over there, no? Hopefully, we'll be on the show here also as well very soon, no? But having said that, that's an interesting story. Did you lose any customers along the way in that journey moving there from Multiply to your website and right now into Facebook?
Well, it depends pa rin, pero I should say I need to improve the services. I really need to adjust. Kasi yung behavior ng customers nagbabago eh. So, we adjusted our marketing strategies na meron kaming, let's say, marketing for new customers, marketing for VIP customers. So, it's two different approach.
Wow. And as you evolve those things, no, from what is the current, I would say, maybe the word is distribution strategy right now because you evolved, diba? From a multiply store to doing a website and Facebook. Where are you now, and what drives much of the business for you? Which distribution channel drives much of the business for you?
Well, actually, we have a platform, kimstore.com. We also sell in social commerce. They're Facebook and Instagram. We are also in Marketplace. Customers still buy in kimstore.com because they really wanted this personalized experience.
I see. So it's really the personalized experience, which I mean, so if they're on Facebook, wherever else, you still drive them towards the website instead of
Yes.
doing the transaction on social media. You bring them back to the website.
Yes. For example, if you are a VIP member, if you bought already 50,000 worth of gadgets for the past 1 or 2 years, you become a VIP member. But you can only avail this sweet deals or promos if you buy at kimstore.com.
Got that. Got that. Kim, right now, given the number of I mean, what I'm impressed about is the number of competition that has actually come up for you over the past couple of years. Because I mean, we are bombarded by many people selling here online, no, their own gadgets, especially right now. And I asked you earlier on what makes you different, but then how did you keep on, how do you always make sure to keep ahead of those people? Because I mean, this is different. But this game is anybody can sell online, but you've always managed to stay ahead of them. Was it because of the customization or the personalization that has also made you stay ahead of the rest? Is that and was that enough?
One is we always put our customers first. We always listen. We use CRM. We use Net Promoter Score so that we could still validate if our customers are happy. Is there anything that we could improve on? But aside from that, uh, well, we need to make sure na kami yung first adopter of this digital transformation. Such for example, like the cash on delivery. It was introduced by LBCX before, and then we were able to really create good sales because of adopting of cash on delivery services. Like for example, the BNPL now, buy now, pay later. There's a lot of fintech companies approaching us, and of course, whatever will benefit our customers, we try their services. Sometimes nga parang ginipig kami. But anything for the customer, we wanted to give it a try so that customers will continue to have reasons to upgrade their gadgets. Especially now, with the effect of
Mm.
pandemic, BNPL is okay. And then we continue to listen to our customers so that, for example, let's say, meron ba kayong ganitong, for example, uso na ngayon yung vlogging. So people are asking from ring light. In a month's time, we'll get a supplier ng ring light. And then people are really happy with how we really answer their feedback. Kasi sometimes it's about our services, sometimes it's the product that we are selling. Ninang Kim, try mo magbenta ng ring light. Ito yung hinahanap namin. So there, and then we develop, for example, the ring light, pwede rin naman sa mga makeup artists, sa mga vloggers. So there's a lot of customer-centric approach in whatever things that we do.
Interesting. Now, when I was listening to your story earlier on, you said to me that, at the very start, it took you almost a month to make your first sale. So, when you were doing Kim Store at the start, were there points where you said, you know what, I'm just a college student, I might as well just give up and just finish everything and wag na yung hassle na ito. Was there a point for you that came na parang, I wanted to give up during the earlier stages, or was it successful immediately?
Actually, okay, sophomore student, and then when I graduated in 2008, it was the financial crisis.
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
I didn't think Kim Store naman as a full-time before. It was just a side hustle. It was a hobby helping hobbyists or photographers, or should I say mga college student na what cameras would they want for their class, things like that. It was just a simple goal na I really wanted to help those camera enthusiasts. And then in 2008, financial crisis nga, there were even the multinational companies are having a hard time hiring even graduates from LaSalle. So nung
Wow.
time na yun, anong gagawin ko, 'di ba? Parang I don't wanna be stuck in my house doing nothing. So I asked myself, can I is this worth doing? Is this worth my time? So
Mm-hmm,
then
mm-hmm.
I made this as a full-time business. But there were times na every challenges that I face, lagi may evaluation eh, na is this right for me? But when I see my customers being very happy with our services, at times, I'm just so thankful na nagpapasalamat pa yung customer. Come to think of it, I should be thanking them because they're availing my
Yeah.
services. But instead, they are thanking me because they received this quality product with their hard-earned money. Just imagine that. So parang nakakataba ng puso na this is my purpose, serving our customers, serving the communities.
Was there a point, Kim, when it came to you where you said, aha, this is going to work, or wow, I can't believe where Kim Store is right now? I often share on this podcast. Mine was, there was just that one aha moment when I was standing in the middle of my market, and there were just like hundreds of people passing me by. I was going, my gosh, I can't believe we did this. Parang that this market's working. What is that point for you where you go, oh my gosh, Kim Store is actually it's gonna work, it's gonna fly? When is that for you?
Uh, One is when okay, I had my first sale right on the first month of Kim Store. Then eventually, word of mouth, it was the biggest contribution of a marketing strategy. Na talagang because of word of mouth, I don't have that much capital or much marketing budget to really push that. Hey, if you need electronics, go at Kim Store. So it was really the word of mouth. It was really making our customers happy. Na parang nakita ko na why are people really accepting this concept? Mga ano pa, mga ka-age pa mga ka-age namin, mga 25 to 34
Uh,
years old, na people knew that story. Actually, people are buying from me because they really like the story behind Kim Store.
mm.
Iba pa rin pala yung story behind the brand. And they really support this type of startups.
I like that. So it's really that. So people like that story. You know, you remind me also of one of the guests I had over here. She's a young millionaire, Glenda Victorina of Brilliant Skin. I believe that's the name of the product. Where she actually every day people like her story. She actually features her life every day of producing these new products. And like you, she's very customer centric in the way that she does things. And it's really interesting to see that maybe that's why people also are so invested in your story and invested in your success because they can feel that they are a part of it. Eh. Because parang I could be like him as well, diba? That could have been me, right? Or and I
Actually,
see the hard work he's put in. Yeah.
RJ before when I was starting the business, Lasal, ang katabi niya kasi is McDo. So ang
Oh
meetup
yeah.
point is yung McDo, 'di ba? Yung meetup
Oh
point
oh.
kasi so parang pila-pila pa sila doon and then yung guard pa parang, "Mama, ano nangyayari dito? Bakit a blockbuster?" So there was nung time na yun nag-meet up ako ng lunchtime. So binilhan ko lahat ng customers ko ng fries para lang at least hindi mapaalis ng guard. There was
Wow.
even MRT trips. I think yung mga customers ko, usually nakikipag-meet up ako sa MRT Ayala, Ortigas. So they really knew the story na magte-text pa ako, "Hi, I'm on my way, nakasakay na ako ng MRT." They really knew the story. Wala pang mga cash on delivery innovation, wala pang mga on-demand delivery. It was really manual. So,
Wow.
I think parang na-develop din na, syempre, when you listen to your customers, you make your customers happy, yung purpose mo parang mas nade-define not to serve everyone who needs their gadget. So parang yun na yung naging mentality namin.
How
Continue
fantastic.
serving.
And you know those were really great stories. But then for you, what became also as well the biggest challenges or challenge that you faced in your 15 years? I'm sure it wasn't a smooth road, but then you had to keep on going. Well, can you share with us some of the challenges that you had that made you think twice about pursuing the business?
Okay. Nung 2011, I got my first interview with Go Negosyo. So sabi niya, what's your plan 5 to 10 years from now? That was 2011, fifth year. So I said I wanted to be the Amazon of electronics in the Philippines. So that was a big, audacious goal na, can I be an Amazon of electronics in the Philippines? So from a startup business na start mo sa bahay, come to think of it, you really have to, the challenge is how do you really scale the business? Na as a person, I never thought that I need to lead. I need to take care of my people. So in a way, na-mold din ako maging leader as a people-centric or people-oriented person. Na parang with that, I really put my customers first. Na parang if you wanted to scale, how can your employees translate your vision, translate your mission to the services that they provide to your customers. So in a way, you really have to be a people-oriented person so that they can be a customer-centric person also to
Oh,
our
that's like
customers.
a parang personal revelation yan. Right? It's like a change. It's like a change in personality, diba? It's like for me, if I don't like operations too much, is saying I gotta be an operations person, diba? That's sort of like is that sort of like what we're. Am I on the same page with you? Parang ganyan.
You need to wear different hats in a way na well, parang one woman team eh. So in a way parang now I'm a customer service manager, next I'm an HR manager. Ang dami, ang dami. It was so much fun because I really learned from this journey. More than, of course, I wanted my customers happy. Pero yung sa akin, it's not more on the profitability. Siyempre, nandun naman yun as a business owner. Pero in a way, you're really growing and you're
Mm-hmm.
really sharing your journey to your customers. That's so remarkable pala.
Wow, what a great journey it's been for you in terms of entrepreneurship. Having said that, no, I'm sure at this point in Kim Store, you're seeing a lot of different opportunities emerging. That's why you're pursuing that's and because as a result of your business with drop shipping and doing the e-commerce academy, what do you see in general from your parang bird's eye view? What are the emerging opportunities right now where entrepreneurs, especially female entrepreneurs, can still get into that whole, I guess, e-commerce ecosystem that isn't yet fully utilized? That the people can still, they can still make a mark or find a niche.
Okay. In a wider perspective, I think
Oh,
it's really on-demand delivery, social enterprise, and having brand websites.
okay. Can you elaborate on each one of them so people can understand better what you mean by on-demand delivery? I just realized right now people might not appreciate when I say drop shipping. They don't understand pala drop shipping. I just parang, mommy, I just realized we have to explain some of these certain terms that we use. So
Say
on-demand
for
delivery, first opportunity. Yeah, please go ahead.
during the pandemic, I think people knew the sushi bake, di ba? Yung sushi bake concept, there's a lot of ang daming mga emerging food brands na nag-pop out during the pandemic. So why not take this opportunity to set it in Grab and Food Panda to take advantage of their audience? Na
Mhm.
parang gusto nila yung deliver agad-agad, 'di ba? So, if you're a food concept, then maybe you could also use or partner with Grab or Food Panda to really expand your network. Second is branded websites like Kimstore.com, 'di ba? Aside from selling from marketplaces, you really need to create your own brand website to target the correct market and not lose your branding. Ang problem kasi in marketplaces, well, you can really take advantage of their audience, but at the same time, you don't nurture your brand. So that's the differentiation. If you come to think of it, there's a lot of Instagram sellers, social sellers yan. Maybe they have an outlet in marketplaces, but they really wanted to really create an image or branding. That's why they're selling in Instagram. Yung mga curated photos, magagandang photos, nakakabenta yan sa Instagram.
Yes, yes, of course.
Then,
Oh,
and then social enterprise. Ito yung untap, pero we did not only need profit but also passion. Maraming social enterprises na pwedeng suportahan natin na hindi pa natatap. It's an emerging business model wherein we help others through our business for a greater good.
I see, I see. And having said that, you seem to be very passionate about all these different businesses. It's like that you could run them if you weren't doing Kim Store. So my question to you here right now is this one, no? Um, if you had the time, the bandwidth, the resources, and you weren't doing Kim Store right now, or tomorrow, okay, I want to retire now from Kim Store, enjoy my life, or move on and put my passion somewhere else, what would that be?
Mhm. Good question, Pero, I'm really into music. I
Oh,
play
really, huh?
ukulele. So in a way,
Wow.
if not Kim Store, I'd like to sell musical instruments. And then like cameras, 'di ba? I'm a camera enthusiast. So in a way, I built Kim Store by selling cameras. But this time around, if not with Kim Store, maybe I'd like to be in the music industry.
Wow,
Or probably,
interesting.
alam mo yung parang writing books about my experiences, 'di ba, mga personal development, mga gano'n.
Fantastic. Really great story. I know you can see this, but I like the comment of Delo or Sua. Actually, he's giving you applause over here, and people are really just so inspired by the story you're sharing here right now, Kim. No, and having said that, 15 years. Some people might even say Jurassic and 15 years because of e-commerce because it's such a fast-paced industry. If there are entrepreneurs entering right now or joining the industry, what would be your parang what are your entrepreneurial life lessons that you want to share right now? If you were to write that book, right, and share some of those tips right now, maybe you can use this as an opportunity to beta test your book. What are those some of those entrepreneurial life lessons you'd like to share with them, especially to the female entrepreneurs out there?
Three things. One is being humble. Second is being hungry, and third is being empathetic. Why humility? Uh, you're you should be humble enough that uh, I can't know everything and I don't know everything. And this is so important to create a collaborative and authentic culture for a company, and for an entrepreneur, it's always good to be humble. Hindi yung parang nagmamagaling ka, alam mo lahat,
Oh,
okay,
oh,
di ba? And
agree.
being humble means you're willing to learn and listen from constructive criticism. At times when, during the early years, syempre nandun pa yung pagiging impatient, stubborn-headed. Pero in a way, at the end of the day, the advices of your parents, the advices of your mentors or the older people, ano talaga oo nga naman, no? It's not bad to listen from them. At the end of the day, it's best for you. Second is, being hungry. Complacency won't allow you to really expand and scale. Kingston has been in the business for 15 years, and we always stay adept to innovations, new technology, disruptions, and competition, so we can always bring out the best in our service for our customers. And then last is empathy. Developing empathy can help you develop and market products and services to your customers. This is the best way. Because if you're not empathetic, how would you really know what serves well to your customers? Hindi naman yung parang profit lang, this will work. You don't even have an FGD. So you really have to be empathetic with in whatever you do as a leader, as a customer-oriented person.
Wow. Thanks so much for sharing those stories. And I'm sure many people learn so much from your stories of empathy and humility and hungriness. Now, before we leave, no, your company was built on storytelling, really. Diba? I mean, the stories about you working hard and you with your customers. Um, as we start to close this conversation, is there one really compelling story that you've been left with about your customer that's really changed the way that you think or do business or something that you said parang this is why I'm doing Kim Store. What is that story for you?
Um, Let me think.
Yeah, no
Uh,
problem. I'm sure there's been so many stories over the years, but uh, and they're really great stories. Is there a story that up to now particularly resonates with you?
Siguro in a way, na-share ko to kanina na, ah, so I was selling products, right? And then people were thanking my services. But in a way, yung na-realize ko na nagpapasalamat yung customers ko because because of our existence, ano yun eh, iba yung tagos dun sa puso na, oo nga, no? We're here not only as a retailer, but we're here to serve our customers because they trust the brand that we can provide them affordable quality products and we will really take care of their purchases.
Well, thank you so much, Kim. I mean, I'm personally so inspired by your story. And if you all listening here right now, let's give her a virtual round of applause. Thank you so much, Kim, for joining us and sharing with us what you're paying forward for your 15th year anniversary. Rest assured that we continue to pray for your success and continue to want to hear great stories from you, especially on female empowerment and how drop shipping will help more people and how the e-commerce companies the e-commerce academy that you have will help people out. So just in case, Kim, for the people listening here right now, si AJ Camila saying thank you, Kim, Delo or Sua saying we're always thankful. Kung gusto nilang sumama sa inyong sa inyong e-commerce academy, or they want to take advantage in the future of your other programs where you help support businesses, or where can they visit?
Well, guys, if you need electronics right now, it's Christmas. Please go to kimstore.com. Follow our Facebook page, kimstoreph. Thanks, guys.
Thanks so much, guys. So again, no, it's kimstore.ph.
Yes.
Tama.
Sorry,
Okay, great.
kimstore.com. Kimstore.com, and then Facebook is kimstoreph. And
Okay,
our
just double check
yeah,
it. Oh.
Instagram is Kimstore Official.
Kimstore Official. So, ulitin natin na lang, no? Kimstore.com on the website, Kimstore PH on Facebook, and Kimstore Official on Instagram. And again, Kim, thanks so much. Congratulations. Really great time. And to everybody, if you're listening to the RJ Ledesma podcast for the first time, I invite you to please subscribe to the RJ Ledesma podcast on Spotify, Google, or Apple Podcasts. One last thing from my friend Jonathan De Dios. Sabi niya, very inspiring lady. Keep it up. Thanks. And thank you to everybody listening to the show here right now. My name is RJ Ledesma. I will see you again in the next podcast. Thanks, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.